one full document, are your thoughts on the role and purpose of education. Okay, like why is education important? Obviously, that's going to go in your philosophy of education. Okay, secondly, your objectives as a teacher. So, again, I have sections broken down later that explain that farther. So these need to be achievable and measurable through assessments. So that's just like assignments, tests, projects, things like that. 3, outline the methods by which you will achieve your teaching objectives. So basically, what are you going to do in your classroom that is going to make sure that the things that you want to happen in your classroom are happening? If I want my kids to learn the ABCs, how am I going to make sure that my kids learn the ABCs? Are we going to use a variety of activities? You don't have to break it down for like specific examples. Like to get my kids to learn the ABCs, I plan on starting the day with a video. No, it's just like through a variety of different types of assessments. What are you going to be doing? And then the 4th, the factors that motivate you to become a teacher. Okay. So we're going to start by filling out these right here, thoughtful responses to the following statements, and working on this first part 1 right here. Okay, so there are some like sentence starters where they like start and then like ... And your thing is these are just supposed to like get your brain thinking about the things that go in a philosophy of education. So like I believe the purposes of education are. It does not have to be in a complete sentence. This is just to like brainstorm. You can just like list a couple things. Second, I believe that students learn best when. So just think about, a lot of these things are going to be like you personally. The whole point of a philosophy of education is it is individual to each and every person that does it. Okay. I believe that I believe that a good learning environment is one in which, what do you like to like? What kind of classroom do you like to walk into? Okay. I believe that all students have the following basic needs. So like what do students need to be successful, essentially? In order to further the growth and learning of my students, these basic needs will be met in my classroom through, and that just goes into like building relationships with students. I believe that teachers should have the following qualities. We've talked about that. Your role as an educator, how will you reach the diverse children in your classroom? And so that's going to get us started. So work on these questions to begin with, and then we're going to kind of discuss and start working on the first part of La philosophie d'éducation. Look at that. I just looked through. Thank you. Thank you. 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, you have your class wars and stuff like that. So like you're kind of like defined by your grade level when you high school. Is that right? You're like, I can't talk to them, they're a junior. And the seniors hate the juniors for some reason. I don't understand. I don't get it.
I had a lot of senior friends last year.
I was friends with everybody. Everybody was my friend. Okay, now we're not going to read the whole college one because it's long.
I got it.
But,
does anyone want to be a professor?
I'll read this one now. I'll just read it out loud. At its core, I believe higher education is about going beyond content mastery. I'm telling you what, in high school, I'm just looking to teach my content, make you a better person, and then get out, okay? Because I'm not looking to see beyond content mastery. Like, I want to spark an interest in French in you, but I don't expect you to, like, go out and be, like, seek out opportunities really to, like, go beyond learning French. If that makes any sense. I work hard to create a learning environment that fosters critical thinking and problem solving. All students, in order to become engaged members of society, need to understand not only the facts presented in books and lectures, but the questions they need to ask based on the information they learn. I expect students to become self-directed learners, engaging their natural curiosity about the material presented, and taking that curiosity to the next level. I see myself and my work in the classroom as the springboard for further exploration. Doesn't that sound like a college professor?
Yes.
It just sounds hoity-toity, like. Now, I'm telling you, most college professors in your first 2 years or whatever, like your college algebra teacher probably doesn't care about that, to be honest. Like once you get into your like upper level college classes and you can actually they're smaller, it's more better. Also, have I talked about DC versus more better?
More better.
I say more better all the time. I say that's more better, that's more better. Never heard more better.
No better.
No.
Those two words.
More better is
They don't go
I know it
together.
doesn't go together, but that's why I say more better. More better. Wow. And can we just say, let me just put this up there. I just said more better, and everybody decided to jump on me about that. So let's just keep that in mind for next time you guys have a presentation. You said me. That doesn't sound right. Okay. All right.
You're students. You're a teacher.
Yeah.
So just because I
You have 2 degrees. You should
just
know
because I
that.
Yeah.
speak correctly and devalues all of my other things I have to offer. Okay. Good to know. I hate you all. I hate you all.
You love us, Mr. Van.
There was another thing that was going to do what?
Just attack you about that.
I know.
Still love it or not.
Okay, so that is, the reason I chose that one was so you can see how elementary differs from secondary and differs from college. You like this, now there are some like good examples of things in there that you can read that you can apply to yours, but like you do not have to, as an elementary teacher, like who is thinking about going into elementary in here? As an elementary teacher, you're not like asking your kids to do self-directed research in order to move beyond content mastery to become fully functioning members of their community. Like, try to convince a 6-year-old to do that.
To be a fully functioning.
They wouldn't do that.
A 6-year-old to sit in a chair. Okay, so, like, and now here are just some blurbs that can really fit. Like, these are kind of like truths or good things, like springboards, ideas to use to start creating your philosophy of education. I value creative thinking as much as content mastery. That is really big for me. I want kids to be able to if I'm having you do something, I want you to I don't want to give you too many parameters. Okay, I want you to come up with something like, does it do this and does it do this? Okay, if it does those 2 or 3 things, then I don't care what it looks like. Okay, I want students to value their own ability to think creatively, and I encourage them to use novel ways to demonstrate their knowledge. I believe students should apply what they learn in one subject to another subject they are studying. That's really big in my French class because I always talk about referential deixis because it references back to something else.
That sounds like the most painful thing in the world. I could not imagine.
Like in the objectives? Or, I would say for the objectives, basically, in my classroom, I want students to. That is a perfect opening for this part because objectives are things that you can measure in your students.
So I put it in the very last bullet that doesn't have anything on it.
Yeah, well,